forecasted to have some heavy downpours later on. If it rains, anything can happen.
Our Suzuki storyline tonight. Can Ricky Carmichael wrap it up, or can David Villeman hold on for that final round of Las Vegas? Jeremy McGrath holds a record 9 consecutive years with at least 1 win. Can he make it 10 here tonight? And who goes to Vegas with the top privateer advantage? Only 4 points separates Nick Way and Heath Foss. Let's turn to David Bailey now for the Speed Stick track map.
Well, you can see it's a long start, and I can't wait to see what that first turn looks like with this mud. If the rain shows up again, that's going to be very interesting. The whoop section tonight isn't nearly as tricky as they normally make it in anticipation of more rain. They cross the start, over and up with another triple. After they get the finish line, they go across and back into the first corner. You can see that the start they're working on right now. There's the dozers trying to clear out some of that mud. It's a big, wide first corner, a nice sweeper right there, and as the rain holds off, we should have great conditions, Art.
Check out the Honda point standings now for the 250s. There you see it. Villeman 27 points behind. He's got to gain 3 points here tonight if he hopes to hold off the celebration of Ricky Carmichael. The Heat 1 lineup now. As Villeman and McGrath, Ramsey, Fonseca, Huffman, Ferry, Tortelli, and the rest of the crew. Of course, Villeman with the hopes of delaying the celebration for Ricky Carmichael here tonight. Jeremy McGrath third in points. Nathan Ramsey, a one-time winner. His teammates on Team Honda, Ernesto Fonseca and Sebastian Tortelli, all in this heat, along with Tim Ferry on that four-stroke. Number 15 just going by. Number 20 is Huffman. 24, Fonseca, and that's Riddle, number 77. The former Suzuki team rider.
Brian Clark with a helmet camera all the way on the outside. Interesting tactic there. That might work out pretty good. There you see the helmet camera up on top.
It'll be interesting to see how that survives with all the roost of mud that might flick up in front of him.
And I'm going to lay $100 right now on Tim Ferry for the whole shot, Art.
That four-stroke,
any bets? Huh? This is where he really did well last year. Kind of started a little streak of running up front. Third in Vegas after this. Then he won that outdoor national at Glen Helen.
Villeman was hoping for rain and a sloppy track. He grew up in France, of course, and ran almost every day in the rain. He's a very good mudder.
You see McGrath right there. He has foam on top of his helmet. Ferry doesn't. He's probably thinking, hey, I'm just going to get the whole shot. I don't need foam on my helmet.
32nd board now is sideways. We're set to go for our first qualifying round of the 250s in Salt Lake City.
Wow.
Oh, I should have bet you. Villeman gets the whole shot. Ferry is battling for second with Ramsey. Ramsey moving into second.
That's weird. Villeman was messing with that clutch lever till the very last second. It looked like something. And Ferry goes down and takes Darcy Lang with him.
Ferry still hasn't gotten up.
Can't get out from underneath the bike.
Well, he's
Look
an
at that.
immediate candidate now
for
the semifinal round.
Is that something or what? Stopping to help Ferry. He recognized, hey, I'm not in the running. Let me help Ferry get up. Otherwise, Ferry would still be stuck. His visor's pointing down.
Meanwhile, Villeman is on a mission.
Watch Ferry right there. He's in third. Over the bars. Face plant. And the bike tips over on him. Then the orange leaning up against that speed stick tough block is Darcy Lang. McGrath just scoots out of there. And Ferry that whole time had his head pinned under the bike. So he needed that whole shot.
Villeman, Ramsey, Fonseca, Huffman in fourth, Tortelli fifth, Riddle, McGrath in seventh, and our helmet cam in eighth right now. Remember, only the top 4 graduate to the main event out of our qualifying rounds. There's Fonseca 24 as you see them come through. Tortelli 13 on the inside. That's McGrath number 2. Number 20 is Huffman. 77 Riddle. Our helmet cam number 54.
McGrath just moving into 5th right there ahead of Huffman. Still not in qualifying position, and good luck getting around Tortelli.
Here's Jeremy. Jeremy coming off his second podium in a row, his third of the season in the last race. He's averaging an 8.4 finish in the first 7 races, a 3.8 finish in the last 7. Tremendous improvement in the second half of the season.
Well, it's not looking good right now because Tortelli is a great mud rider. Remember that race he won at the LA Coliseum? Conditions almost identical to these. And if he doesn't get around him, he's got to go to the semi. See the ruts starting to develop. Every once in a while we get a shot of their view of the jumps or the ruts. Or the whoops.
Tim Ferry talking things over now with his mechanic, Brian Kinney, as we see Villeman of Team Yamaha on the two-stroke out in front, leaping that over the finish line jump. Earlier today, as we said before, Villeman was really praying for rain.
Pray for rain all the time because that's fun. I love to race in the mud actually, and but you know where I'm at right now, 24 points behind Ricky, or 27 or something. I don't know. I have to get some points back to wait until Vegas, and so rain might help me.
He wasn't quite sure how far behind Ricky is, but he knows what he has to do. It's all within himself, David.
And he's doing it. That's an amazing hole shot. He got out of there and hooked that bike up like he was riding one of those 4 strokes. Had a 3 bike length lead a third of the way down to the starting line, and he's just opening it up. But I'll tell you who's impressing me right now is Fonseca. Fonseca is starting to, it's moved into second, it's starting to close on Villeman a little bit. This is Ryan Clark over the triple.
Let's take a lap with him.
He's right behind Damon Huffman. That's him right there ahead of us. See the ruts right there? Ryan's going to go to the, now it looks like he's going to go to the inside. Besides the last minute, let me go to the outside, get a good run. You hear how much harder they are on the throttle in these kind of conditions. You get a lot more wheel spin. And this soft, mushy dirt kind of robs you of the horsepower that you would normally have in perfect conditions. Coming up on the whoop section. That didn't sound good. And they're not even as radical as they normally are. But he gets through there and actually reels Huffman in a little bit. See Huffman loses balance? These ruts are really making it tough.
What a challenging track this has turned into be. Sebastian Tortelli and Jeremy McGrath fighting for that last transfer spot. Jeremy pulling up on Sebastian, and look at that. They're pulling up also on Nathan Ramsey. Anything can happen here at the end of this qualifying round. McGrath in the whoops. Good clean pass.
They love this guy or what?
The crowd is going bananas. Here comes Tortelli back again.
He might be able to get Ramsey too. Fonseca's just up ahead of these guys. Kept that distance to Villeman about the same.
Here comes Tortelli back again. Nothing is safe here at Salt Lake City.
Jeremy will get a good run off that berm.
Crosses to the inside with Tortelli. Backs off.
Yeah, you don't just move Tortelli out of the way. He's like a linebacker.
Villeman, meanwhile, with a 3.3 second lead on Fonseca. Ramsey is 5.2 seconds back. Here comes Jeremy McGrath once again. Back and forth we go. The lapper getting out of the way.
Carmichael getting ready. Looks like he's going to be starting next to Ezra Lusk. Those guys went at it in the practice session. White flag is out. Jeremy has got to hold off Tortelli to make it to the main.
Tortelli slipping a little bit on the turn before that straightaway, and McGrath has picked up at least another bike length.
While this was going on, Villeman took his lap times down to 47.9, and that's what Jeremy just turned that last lap to get around Tortelli.
Villeman, upper right portion of your screen. Ramsey 25, Fonseca 24, and Jeremy McGrath number 2. There's Villeman.
One more turn.
The checkers are out. They're waving for David Villeman. His third qualifying heat win of the year, and McGrath almost caught Ramsey. So McGrath, though, makes it, gets that transfer to the main event, taking 4th place.
Well, that was an incredible ride by Villeman, but Jeremy just warmed this crowd back up.
That'll give you a little idea about what it's like when you're not in front.
Yeah, I see the dirt all over that lens. It's hard to see through all that, and it gets worse in the 20-lap final.
Clark coming off on 7th place. We'll have to go to the semifinal round. David Villeman. He doesn't win many heat races.
When it rains,
But he took this one, yes, in our Honda results page. With this wonderful crowd here in Salt Lake City. Fonseca, Ramsey, and McGrath qualifying. And the ones without darts next to their position having to go to the semifinal round. Coming up, heat number 2, Ricky Carmichael, Ezra Lux, Stefan Roncada. It'll be a good one. Stay tuned.
Hard-working Hondas. Every Honda ATV, from the Sport Trax Nut through the Ford Trax Ranchers and Ford Trax Foreman Rubicon, have hard-working deals. Now pick your ATV and pick your deal. Low 6.9% APR financing or payments as low as $69 per month with your Honda card. And get up to $600 in double bonus bucks on select models. Hard-working Hondas, hard-working deals. Spring into action now at your Honda dealer.
Hey, dialing my number?
Of course, I always use 1-800-COLLECT.
Then you already know it saves a buck or two.
1-800-COLLECT? It's so easy.
You sure know how to push the right buttons.
1-800-COLLECT. Save a buck or two.
And what did you do this weekend?
I called this girl, but the line was busy.
Gary? Matt?
I went to Wendy's for lunch. Well, I see their hamburgers on TV and they look good. I ordered a classic double with cheese. Call me crazy, but I think they made it just for me. Hot, juicy, it tasted great. And when I finished, I felt good. And I liked that feeling.
Bravo!
Sure. Wendy's classic double with cheese. And now Wendy's pickup windows open late so you can eat great even late.
Warning. This movie is so exhilarating, it can only be seen exclusively in IMAX theaters and other large format cinemas.
Yeah, I like that.
ESPN's Ultimate X, rated PG, only in theaters May 10th.
EA Sports Supercross is being brought to you by Suzuki, maker of innovative motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles. By EA Sports, if it's in the game, it's in the game. And by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, and scooters. Personally, I'm surprised with the inclement weather. We had such a great crowd on hand here at Rice-Eccles Stadium. As we see here, the pit party just prior. They just saw a very focused David Villeman, who's now with Terry Boyd.
David, you made it look absolutely easy. How confident are you going into the main event tonight?
Yeah, I feel great. You know, I got a great start, and I've been struggling lately with my starts, and we've been working really hard. And you know, I got it dialed in now, and hopefully I can get a good start in the main. You know, track is kind of tricky with a lot of ruts, and you know, it's supposed to rain too, so it's going to be very interesting. And hopefully I can you know, stay in front of Ricky, so we're going to go to Vegas.
I noticed something about you. You ride the same as it is when it's dry.
Yeah, sure. You know, I'm from Europe, so I'm kind of used to this weather. And for me, it would be great if it rains a lot more. But you know, never know. Hopefully, it will.
Tell you what, thank you very much. Good luck tonight, David. All right, David, I'll tell you, he seems to feel you got to ride the same in the mud as you do in the dirt.
Checking out now our second qualifying heat, which includes our rider who's looking for his second consecutive 250 championship, Ricky Carmichael, Ezra Lusk, a veteran winner, Stefan Roncada, Nicholas Way, who's just in front of Heath Foss in that battle for the top privateer honors. That means 25 grand to the winner of that particular contest at the end of the year. John Sebastian Waugh also, and Kyle Lewis, two very good privateers who are fighting for the third spot, which is something like $10,000 of prize money in the privateer ranks. There's Ezra Lusk, number 11. Ezra would really like a breakthrough race right here, David Bailey.
Well, this is where he really had a head of steam last year after having a great battle in Pontiac, Michigan, then in Dallas the week after that, beating Ricky in a couple of heat races, but then he came here looking sharp, had a little bit faster than times, and Ricky went down in the first corner, had to come from behind, so hopefully it turns out a little better for him this time.
Heath Foss just 4 points in back of Nick Way for the top privateer honors for the entire season. Number 41 on the Blackfoot Honda. The board is sideways. Our second qualifier for the 250s from Salt Lake City is underway. Roncada and Carmichael. It's Carmichael the whole shot. Roncada cutting to the inside just in front of Ezra Lusk. And Jean-Sébastien Roy in fourth. Remember, only the top 4 qualify to the main event.
The top 3 riders of this heat race running first through third. Look at Lusk. Got a good run on Roncada through the whoop section.
Boy, did he blitz those whoops. And Lusk edges out in front of Roncada right now as we go through our entire field.
Lusk wants Carmichael so bad. He wants to get up there and race with him and prove, hey, I used to kick this guy's tail a few years back before he got a roll on a roll, and Lusk had to sit out an entire season with injuries. He's trying to get up there and prove that he can run that pace. Another look at the start. Watch Ricky. Just blast out of there. Drag race with Roncada. This is why I always like the inside, because even if you're side by side, you got the inside in the corner.
Carmichael, Lusk, Roncada, Waugh, Lewis, Terlecki out of the state of Oregon, close by, relatively speaking. Pavoni in 7th, Voss in 8th, and Way in 9th. Voss and Way normally go to the semifinal rounds.
Lusk is going through that whoop section pretty quick. Took a couple bike lengths out of Ricky's lead that time. Seems to be edging up on him a little bit. You could see a great battle.
Might it be interesting to compare Ricky's times with David Willemets in the first heat when we get near the end of this race?
Well, Lusk's first lap was exactly the time of Willemets. 47.9, a second faster, almost a second faster than Ricky. So he is in fact closing on him, and that's partially due to the fact that the track is getting a little bit better with each lap. Here comes that whoop section again. See if Lusk can close the gap. Ricky holds it that time.
Lusk having a tough time of it last week, crashing in the first lap, finished the opening lap in 17th until he fought back for an 8th place finish in that main event. He's had opportunity this year, just hasn't been able to capitalize on it. He has 12 Supercross victories to his credit, and there's Stefan Roncada in 3rd.
Roncada starting to lose time to his teammate Ezra, who's trying everything he can to reel in Lusk. I mean, Carmichael out front. And Carmichael actually stretched it out a little bit that time, turning the fastest lap yet, 47.5.
Number 21, Roncada, finished 5th in the 3rd consecutive race last week. And the final transfer spot, Jean-Sébastien Roy, Blackfoot Honda out of Canada. Number 40, you can hear the guttural sound of that 4-stroke. You can hear these Supercrosses live and direct on the internet. ESPN.com, keyword Supercross. Check it out.
This lead keeps fluctuating. Lusk inching back up on Ricky again. Ricky can feel that. Every time Ezra gets a little closer, the crowd gets a little bit more into it. Ricky can feel that pressure. But so far this year, he's been able to hold all that off.
What's going on in Carmichael's mind? He told us a little bit earlier.
It depends on who is in front of me. You know, if it was Veilman in front of me, I'd risk the win because obviously I need to beat him. But if it was my teammate and things weren't going good for me, then I would settle for second and get the big picture.
Obviously talking about a main event situation, should Veilman be in front, whether he would chance it or not. He's got to be smart, though, David.
I like how he talks about, you know, if, in fact, he's going to give something away, he's going to be in second. He's not talking about, yeah, I'll just go for a top 3 or top 5. No. If he just throws one away and lays up, that's going to be second. So this kid is just got a beeline on first place. He expects to win probably more than anybody out there.
Ezra Lusk still is not that far away from Ricky Carmichael here in this qualifier as time is running out.
Just a couple little things that Ricky's doing faster than Ezra. But because of these conditions, just Ricky will make a mistake one lap, Ezra gets up on him, then Ezra makes a mistake, Ricky pulls back away again. We still got a little ways to go, and Ezra's got him in his sights. If they get into some lappers, that could perhaps close the gap. But at least Ezra's on pace here. See how important the start is. If this role was reversed, it might be Ezra holding this gap for the lead. You see that the groove looks really good, but if you get out of that groove, It's deep mud and ruts.
Ricky Carmichael, he can fishtail that bike and still hold on with great strength.
That's his trademark. He's always ridden that way, so it seems perfectly natural to him to get a little squirrely, while most riders, McGrath, Wyndham, Lusk, a lot more precise.
White flag, final lap is out. Ezra Lusk losing just a hair of time each lap now to Ricky Carmichael.
Well, I'd love to have, it's a shame that the injuries have hurt us this season, because LaRocco, Wyndham, and Pastrana at a race like this, it's a little bit muddy.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
Those guys are fantastic in these conditions.
Well, they might be setting the scene for a great main event anyway with that title on the line for Ricky Carmichael. We've had a lot of injuries, that's for sure. Only 4 factory riders have made every main event, and only 2 privateers. The 2 that are in the running for the top privateer award.
It's actually Lusk with the fastest lap in this race, just a 10th over Carmichael.
The checkers are out for Ricky Carmichael. 3rd and 4th, the final transfer spot. You're looking at Ron Cotta and Wall. Ron Cotta, number 21. Jean-Sebastien Waugh, number 40, quite a little ways behind him. There he is. Is this the first time that Waugh has gone directly to the main event? And I believe it is this year. Straight out of the opening qualifying attempt. There's our winner, Ricky Carmichael. The Suzuki results page as we check about Carmichael, Lusk, Ron Cotta, and Waugh going to the main event with Kyle Lewis and the rest of the field on their way to the semifinal round. The top 5 from each semifinal advance to the main event. The rest going to the LCQ with the top 2 rounding out the 20-rider game. Ricky Carmichael dominates once again in qualifying. We'll be right back in a moment.
From the minds that brought you the Hayabusa and GSXR sport bikes comes the all-new Quad Sport Z400. Is it still showing off if no one's around to see you?
Can I drive? No. Let me drive.
Wait.
Let me drive.
No.
People who don't use 1-800-COLLECT make me mad. I pity fools who don't know it saves a buck or two. 1-800-COLLECT always leaves a good impression. Use 1-800-COLLECT. Save a buck or two.
This weekend, Saturday at 7, it's NHL Eastern Conference semifinals action as the Senators battle the Maple Leafs on ESPN. Then on Sunday at 5:30 on ESPN2, racing action with the NHRA Southern Nationals at the Atlanta Dragway. And at 7:30 on the Juice, the NHL Eastern Conference semifinals continue with Game 2 of the Canadiens and Hurricanes series. Later at 8 on Sunday Night Baseball, Sammy Sosa and the Cubs head west to face Eric Karros and the Dodgers on ESPN this week.
At Joe's Crab Shack, we've gone crab crazy. Hey, Joe! Run into Joe's Crab Shack for our awesome mouth-watering snow crab dinner for only $9.99. That's right, a pound of hot steaming snow crab with sides, all for just $9.99. Get them any way you like them, barbecue, garlic, or steamed. A full pound. Ooh-wee! It's good stuff. So what are you waiting for? Get to Joe's Crab Shack now for a pound of snow crab for just $9.99.
You gotta go eat at Joe's.
Don't keep your TV in the dark ages with that old cable box. Jump into the 21st century with Adelphia Digital Cable. Adelphia Digital Cable has more channels and options to enjoy. With over 190 channels, there's always something to watch. Don't forget your home office. PowerLink is going two-way and will be faster than ever. No more dial-up. Your internet connection will always be there. Two-way PowerLink is now available in Ashburn and is coming soon to Leesburg. Call Adelphia customer service at 703-430-8200 to get connected today.
The sunshine came out just in time this afternoon for the Supercross autograph hounds out in the pits. It was quite a festive affair as the riders and the fans got together. The sun has gone down, and the fans are in the stands, and they've just seen a tremendous qualifying round here for the 250s. Ricky Carmichael trying to nail down his second consecutive 250 championship, and David Villeman trying to delay that ceremony.
Well, he did an excellent job. He blasted off over that gate and got the most defined hole shot I've seen all year. He hooked up in the mud. He's praying for more rain, and it's on its way. It's hard to say if it's going to get here in time, but he and Ricky have definitely set the pace, and so we could see a great battle between those two.
Not everybody had a good time. Tim Ferry, he got stuck under the bike.
Well, I joked around about him getting the hole shot, Art. He needed it, too. He ended up going down. He got his head stuck underneath the motorcycle, couldn't get free. It was actually a privateer, Scott Davis, who stopped and helped him get free of that bike, but it's on to the semifinal for Tim Ferry.
The real battle was Jeremy McGrath fighting to get into the main.
Well, after 2 podiums in a row, who would have thought that Jeremy would be battling with Sebastian Tortelli for the final transfer spot, but he ended up winning that battle and the crowd as well. They loved him.
Right after Ricky Carmichael came off the track, our Terry Boyd talked with him.
Well, RC, there were a lot of questions as to whether you could ride in the mud tonight. I think those have been answered.
Well, you know, that's only the heat race. I feel good. The Honda's working excellent. Could be a lot muddier. Hopefully the rain will hold out for the main event. But, you know, I just need to stay calm and get as many points as I can. The win would be awesome, but I'm not going to press the issue.
Tell you what, Art, there it is. A guy who wants to wrap the title up here tonight in Salt Lake City.
Our Honda Close-Up focuses on the 125 bikes, as the top riders in each class will compete in Las Vegas in the season-ending East-West Shootout. It's Reed, Preston, and Stewart. All year, it's been Chad Reed versus James Stewart for the East-West Shootout. Reed, 6 for 6, clinches the championship.
He's really consistent, and he's really fast, and it's going to be hard to beat him.
Chad Reed has a little more patience and is a little bit smoother and uses a little less energy.
Stewart's second win, wins big, way ahead.
I think James pushes the limit a little more than what I do. James is an excellent rider. You know, he pushes the level for sure. He rides hard.
From the outside looking in is Travis Preston. Travis Preston turning things around, nonchalantly comes over the finish line.
I sit there and watch Chad Reed and everybody ride on TV, and you wonder how fast they actually go. So to actually get to race against them is going to be fun.
It all comes down to one race for the best of the rest.
I'm anxious to see Vegas. I think that Bubba is faster, but if he has someone that can push him, I think he might ride a little over the edge.
I think I can do it, but just it's going to take a lot of work and going out there and have fun and doing it.
You know, it seems like the only time I beat Stewart is when he crashes, and Reed, I've never even ridden against the guy, so we'll just have to wait and see. Vegas is one of those races that has so much hype about it that it seems like the people that are hyped about normally don't win, so.
Carl Malone of the Utah Jazz not only coming out to see Supercross, but show off his monster truck with the fans. A great afternoon for Carl and a wonderful afternoon for the fans. We'll be right back with more Supercross action in a moment.
Rated E for everyone.
Ow! Oh my, I'll save you! I'm coming in! Wow, that's
your collect calls. Dial down the center with 1-800-CALLATT. It's free for you and cheap for them.
Save on every call. Use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
They tested the Subaru Forester. They tested the Subaru Legacy. Now the Subaru Impreza. It's official. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety has given every Subaru they tested their highest possible rating. So would the world be a safer place if everyone drove an all-wheel drive Subaru? It couldn't hurt.
Now you can get 1.9% APR on 2002 Forester and Legacy Outback models.
Flat tires always happen at the worst times.
When is it a good time to have a flat, Manny?
There's never a good time, Mo, but flat tires do seem to have poor timing. They should buy their tires at Pep Boys, Jack. At Pep Boys, the price of Futura tires includes a mileage warranty, mounting, and rotation. And our best tires even have free 24-hour tire care assistance.
Wow, it feels good to be so dependable.
Help is just a Pep Boys away.
But I like changing tires.
You're different than most people, Mo.
Pep Boys, we're car people.
EA Sports Supercross Finals, Saturday, May 4th, live on pay-per-view. McGrath, Pastrana, Villeman, defending champion Ricky Carmichael. And the most competitive riders are back in Vegas for the championships. Plus 125 superstars Chad Reed and James Stewart. EA Sports Supercross Finals, Saturday, May 4th, live on pay-per-view. Contact your local cable or satellite provider now.
Jeremy McGrath, 72 Supercross wins, 110 podiums in Supercross. On his day off, that certainly doesn't count the great softball skills that he possessed here in Salt Lake City on a sunny day the other day. Ryan Hughes. Check out the semifinal results now with the top 5 going on to this main event. Tortelli, Clark, Huffman, and Nicholas Way, fighting for that top privateer position with Heath Voss, who also made out of the semifinal the main event. Nissan LCQ finals, only 2 in the 250s. The top 2 get a chance at the big money. Look at this. Just a few minutes ago, the mechanics doubling as landscapers here. The biggest copper mine is only 30 miles from here. It looked like they were digging for something valuable there.
Well, they're not allowed to use any tools or anything, so they were trying to scoop up as much as they could of their forearms. One guy from Kawasaki lost a shoe in there, but that position behind the gate is critical, Art. That could be the race right there.
Our Suzuki starting grid now for the 250 main event. Carmichael and Villeman, the heat winners. Ezra Lusk might be a force, as might Ernesto Fonseca on the Honda 4-stroke. Roncada, Team Kawasaki. Nathan Ramsey, a one-time winner. Waugh had a very good qualifying round. Tortelli, Way, Clark, Kyle Lewis, another good privateer. That means no factory support. Tim Ferry on the 4-stroke Yamaha. Let's check out the point scenario for Ricky Carmichael to win this championship. Number 4 in your picture there. Number 12 is Villeman. Carmichael clinches if he finishes in front of Villeman. That is the case of the majority of the time. He really needs 3 more points. Villeman needs 3 more points to stay in the battle that Carmichael registers tonight. How about that? No matter where they are in the line.
Well, it could get pretty confusing, but then again, if these guys get the starts they got in their heat races, both of them pulled the whole shot, and it's going to be pretty easy to add up.
And the whole shot here tonight with this track the way it is, very, very important.
It is, but you know what? The ruts and the whoops are terrible. I'm glad they left it the way it is. It's not a one-line situation.
The board is sideways. The championship at stake for the 250s is underway. The power 8-hole shot. Carmichael goes wide, cutting inside Villeman. Villeman takes the lead. The difference between first and second place is 3 points. Villeman has to win if he wants to hold off that victory celebration for Carmichael.
Tortelli getting around Jeremy back there. And you got to think that Fonseca is going to get the heck out of the way here pretty quick.
There's Huffman, Roncada, number 21. As we go through the field in that whoop section. A good clean start.
And Fonseca did. As soon as he went to the mechanics area, they were all saying, hey, let Ricky get by you. The only way this can go to the final round is if Villeman stays where he is. And he just might.
Only one bike totally out of it right now is 247 Tyler Evans. They're walking his bike off as Ricky Carmichael in second place. Oh, this is interesting now because Villeman said in the last race, hey, I didn't want to lead. I wanted to take him like Indianapolis in the final lap. And Carmichael took advantage of it and just took away with the race.
You know, I got a hunch, Art, that it wasn't just Villeman thinking that way. I think that was Yamaha saying, hey, just hold off. There's the start again. McGrath in the middle. He gets a bad start. 3 Hondas battling for the whole shot. Watch Villeman right there on the inside. Ricky gets the whole shot money, but Villeman played it so smart around that inside with Fonseca to get the lead. Look how tight that is. And you can bet Ricky's not going to be the first guy to let off. He left it on just a split second longer than those guys to make sure he got the whole shot, but he couldn't hold the inside, and there went Villeman and Fonseca.
Waugh, number 40, is still in 6th place after that good start. But look at this. This is where the battle is. This is where the championship rests.
These guys have already just opened up a big gap over. There's Fonseca and McGrath back there. These guys have checked out. So much on the line right now.
Oh, a stumble. Here comes Carmichael. Can Villeman stay with him? Can he get the lead back again? Villeman looks back. I don't know why. Nobody's there.
Well, it almost looked, Art, like he meant, once he made that little mistake, he's going, all right, I already blew it, he's there. Let me let him take the pressure. But that didn't work last week. Let's take a look at that again. Villeman, after this right-hander, comes out of the corner and messes up his timing, it seems. Couldn't get in the rut just right. Then he blows it again, and Carmichael gets up next to him. But right there, he had the inside. It looked like he let Carmichael go. It's what it looked like to me. If he stays with him, then I think that would be the case.
Look at the ruts.
Yeah, these guys don't even see those things. It's muddied, especially right here.
McGrath in third.
It's pretty gushy in the bottom of some of those. If you get the right rut, it's all right, but some of them are full of mud.
So Carmichael right now with about the same lead that Villeman had earlier on him here in this race. Villeman with 11 podiums in 13 races, with his worst finishes being a couple of 4th places, but it was not riding at Daytona where he lost 25 points to RC, and that made the difference for the rest of the season so far.
Well, for the last 2 rounds, Carmichael has had to dig so deep. The way he came back in Pontiac, Michigan, the way he held off Villeman and all the pressure last week in Dallas, a track that I don't really think is Ricky's best track on the circuit. And here he is again, having to dig deep to hold Villeman off. I think Villeman's got something for him this time, and he may not listen to the pit board this time. I think he's going to do this the way he wants to do it.
On board with Ryan Clark coming up to see what this track looks like from his perspective.
Well, that's through the whoops. No mistake in that, by the throttle sound. And this is the straightaway where Villeman made his mistake. See how rutted it is right there? That's where he'd ride and feed off. This is where they get their signal from their mechanics. Oh, Johnson gets by, but still able to get the triple taken care of and take that position back. Look at the ruts here. Not quite as bad as I thought. Back out into the start, down into the first corner. The triple. Triples all the way into that corner. Nice job.
Ricky Carmichael, our leader. He's got a 1.5 second lead on Villeman. Villeman has not let him go. And if they were to finish right now, Ricky Carmichael would be the champion with a 30-point lead.
Well, I can't believe what I'm seeing here. Same like last week, Villeman, he was on the inside. Once he had recovered from those mistakes, he still had the inside. They were still bar to bar, as you would say, Art. And I'm surprised he let him go. It looked like he did, and he's not able to stay with him right now. It's the same as last week.
Boy, in the NBA, they call a 20-second timeout right now, just to regroup. And he doesn't have a chance right now. He just has to pour it on to catch up with Ricky Carmichael. McGrath in third. Tortelli is advancing on him. When when Villeman was leading, this is what it looked like.
Introducing the tough new crew cab long bed. It's the next frontier.
Hey, dialing my number?
Of course, I always use 1-800-COLLECT.
Then you already know it saves $1 or $2.
1-800-COLLECT? It's so easy.
You sure know how to push the right buttons.
1-800-COLLECT. Save $1 or $2.
Some dazzle, some shimmer, some smolder, some simply shine. But the lights on Broadway have never burned brighter. And if you want to celebrate the year's most brilliant display, bring your Visa card. The only card accepted at the 2002 Tony Awards. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Sunday Night Baseball. The Sosa Show swings west as the Cubs take on Eric Karros and the surprising Dodgers. Sunday Night Baseball, presented by Nextel. Cubs-Dodgers, this week at 8. It all starts with Baseball Tonight at 7 on ESPN.
SportsCenter's Sunday Night Conversation, Mike Tyson. Among the items discussed, racism, his own mental state, and the physical damage he intends to do to Lennox Lewis in Memphis next month. Mike Tyson, Sunday night, after the Cubs and Dodgers.
Welcome back to Salt Lake City. Can Carmichael nail down his second consecutive 250 Supercross championship? It looks like it. He's got a better than a 2-second lead on number 12, David Villeman.
Yeah, he's starting to open it up. I know Villeman's riding as hard as he can right now, but Ricky's got a little more. Yeah, that's starting to spread out, but that battle for third behind him, that last spot on the podium is once again McGrath and Tortelli going at it with Fonseca, waiting for one of those guys to blow it. You see them going the other way into the corner. Here they come.
Here's McGrath, number 2, on the Bud Light Yamaha. And Tortelli wanting to catch him and knock him off the podium. McGrath, if he holds his position, that's his 3rd straight podium.
Got some foam, Jeremy still does on his helmet. Try to keep the mud from building up there.
Oh, Heath Voss has hit the ground and is not moving.
That's what
after the finish line jump. And he is only 4 points behind in that battle for privateer, top privateer in the season. But he looks hurt.
There's Kyle Lewis. He went off the track and got stuck. They may have gotten together from the looks of where Kyle is. Kyle seems to be okay. It looked like Voss moved his arm, but he apparently knocked himself out. I sure hate to see that. But most of the time, these guys walk away from it. Let's hope he does this time. Look at that. See how messed up that bit? We got more mud. It's impossible to see. That's why it's so important to have those roll-offs and tear-offs. Villeman right up there ahead of us.
Unfortunately, Ryan Clark, our helmet cameraman, doesn't have the time to reach up.
And there's Voss laying just to the left.
On the camera. No, this is too bad.
Sometimes you run out of vision, though, Art, and that's all you get. Then you try to wipe that with your hand, which is dirty, and it smears it and makes it worse.
Kyle Lewis is just stuck in the mud.
Yeah, it's
getting off the track here, and it's over. He is 3rd in the race for the top privateer. Don't forget, at the end of the year, Nick Way, Heath Voss, they were fighting for that $25,000 first prize as we go back to Carmichael.
That's a great example. Carmichael.
McGrath went down.
No, he loses a lot of positions.
Tortelli has taken over 3rd. Fonseca and Ramsey were right behind Tortelli.
That shot of Kyle Lewis stuck in that mud is a great indication of how bad this track looked this afternoon. Everywhere but the racetrack still looks like that. These guys have made the racetrack excellent conditions for racing. A little ruddy, but I kind of like it. It's really challenging for these guys.
The 38,261 fans braved the inclement weather earlier today to watch a champion to be crowned. Ricky Carmichael is on his way, lengthening to 4 seconds his lead on Villeman.
There's never been any doubt as to which bikes dominate the sport of Supercross. Honda's CR125R and CR250R. Ricky Carmichael, 250 Supercross champion. Travis Preston, 125 West Supercross champion. For Honda, that's 21 AMA Supercross titles. Champions ride red.
What is the scent of an avalanche? Smell this.
Avalanche, a refreshing new scent from Speed Stick.
Cool.
Inspired by the power of nature. Protection that smells good.
How does lightning smell? Smell this.
Lightning, an intense new scent from Speed Stick.
Nice.
Inspired by the power of nature. Protection that smells good.
I want to go home.
Now, when you want to get home, always remember to dial right down the center. 1-800-CALLATT. You can save on every call. What does your mom look like anyway? Woo! Can I get a ride too? Use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Hey, take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back in root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Baseball Tonight, every night at 10 and midnight on ESPN.
Before the first stride. Before the first dunk. Before the first save. Before your season begins, get to Dick's Sporting Goods and save on every shoe your family needs for every sport they play during our spring shoe sale. So, before the first pitch, remember, every season starts at Dick's.
The movies you want are on in-demand pay-per-view this week. Spy Game. Serendipity. Bandits. AI, Artificial Intelligence. All on in-demand pay-per-view. Hit movies without leaving home.
In Salt Lake City, trouble for McGrath.
Well, you can see Darcy Lang right there, 303. And Jeremy must have got together. That's the same corner where Villeman lost the lead, and Jeremy loses positions. Ramsey got up on him right there. They went neck and neck through the mechanics area with Jeremy getting the edge. So McGrath running 5th right now, blowing that podium spot.
A win here tonight for number 4, Ricky Carmichael, would give him his 10th of the season and become the only rider besides Jeremy McGrath to win in double digits in back-to-back seasons.
You know, Art, I can't help but remember last year here, I was so impressed with Carmichael's ride in practice. Remember, he ragdolled himself, went down, had a little bit of a headache. I'm not sure if he really even remembered riding back to the truck. Came out. Remember, we're at altitude here, about almost like Denver, about a mile high. So it's a physical race. Carmichael was up in the battle for the front. We had a great freight train battle. He made a mistake in a rhythm section, got shuffled to the back, and I thought, well, that's the streak right there. Carmichael's not going to be able to win this one. He still reached back, passed everybody, and won.
Led the final 11 laps.
I just thought, man, this kid is unbelievable. Then he topped that in Detroit. So
our Honda stopwatch now, you see here, lengthening the lead with each lap.
Modern day motocross and supercross, he is unmatched. And in terms of his commitment, his speed, what he's willing to do to pick up a win. This kid is unbelievable.
And it doesn't seem to matter to the machine either, because if he wins this championship, he'll be the only rider ever to win back-to-back championships on 2 different brands. Jeff Emig.
Chad, this is the way to win championships, going out and winning this race. How's things going?
You want to know the truth? Pretty nerve-wracking right now. Villeman's making a run, and he's closed the gap. So 4 laps left, so we'll have to see. Okay, best of luck.
Chad Watts, the mechanic for Ricky Carmichael, as Carmichael tries to hold it together in front of David Villeman. He just took a couple of tenths of seconds off the lead, but it looks like Ricky's just stepping it up again as he comes through the lappers.
Those whoops are full of ruts, Art, and Ricky doesn't even care. He's just pinned across the top. Bike's dancing all over the place. His balance is really what's amazing. I mean,
there's Heath, his sister right next to him.
Yeah, I bet Heather was worried.
Precautionary measure, I think, if he's walking off, surely.
Oh, I'm so glad. Like I said, these guys normally walk away from that stuff, but he lay there a while. Carmichael, I was starting to say that, you know, if you're looking at technique and smooth style and all that, he's not necessarily the guy to model yourself after. But in terms of intensity and balance, the balance and his ability to save crashes. Watch him through these whoops right here. Pretty good run that time, but man, that thing has been dancing back and forth. Jumps right into those ruts. Look at the balance. You've got to be, it's 4 inches wide through there, and you've got to hit it perfect. You're landing off the double into another rut, and he never seems to be off balance.
Incredible comeback. Probably the greatest in Supercross history. Finishing 20th with a DNF in the first round. No one has ever finished worse than 7th in the first round and come back to win the title.
Villeman's running out of time, Art, but he is closing that gap little by little.
Yes, he is.
They're coming up to lap Sebastian Waugh and Ron Cotta. Then they got a pretty open track.
Ron Cotta to the inside, number 21. Ricky Carmichael to the outside. Ron Cotta's slowing him down just a little bit, just out of logistics, as number 4 now slips by Stefan.
Yeah, Stefan stays clear of it all.
And here comes Villeman.
White flag.
Final lap already. It doesn't seem like this race is just taking just a few seconds to run.
It's a quick pace. It probably
finishing
like
1 and 2 like this, David, it would give Carmichael this type of an advantage, a 30-point advantage, and the 250 championship.
Well, he earned it. Who would have thought? Watching him lay on the ground, unconscious for a moment, a bloody face, concussion, broken bone in his hand at round 1, and then not that great of performances in the next 2 rounds. Villeman at one point with a 35-point lead, but that just goes to show that it's a long season. Injuries play a major part. You got to be tough.
Jeff Stanton, one of only 4 other riders to win back-to-back championships, and now Ricky Carmichael wins back-to-back championships. Ricky Carmichael is the first Supercross champion on Honda since Jeremy in 1996, and this young man is one happy rider. Jeff Stanton, he knows what it feels like. Back in the early 90s, Stanton did what Ricky Carmichael has just completed.
3 times.
The first rider, though, to win 6 major AMA championships in 6 years, Ricky Carmichael. And our Terry Boyd is with him now as he takes his helmet off.
All right, I'll tell you, he nailed it. 6 championships. Ricky Carmichael, the drought is over for Honda. What an incredible ride tonight. You wanted to wrap it up here. You've done it.
I tell you, Terry, it feels awesome, man. Honda was working awesome all season, and I can't believe I pulled it off. Man, I'm so happy. That was a tough race.
Now, you knew that David was back there, so you knew if you flip-flopped, it was going to go to Vegas.
I knew if the flip-flop was going to go to Vegas, but I tell you, man, the bike was working excellent, and can't say enough for Honda, man. They helped me out along the way, and definitely done a lot of tires. Fox, Oakley, man, I tell you, everything's so good. Eldon Baker, my trainer, working so hard, and man, it's just awesome.
Awesome job is right, Art, and very excited, Ricky Carmichael.
And Terry Boyd, a tremendous job down there filling in for the expected father, Davey Coombs. Here's our Honda results page. Carmichael, well, that's appropriate. And then Tortelli in 3rd, Fonseca in 4th, with McGrath picking up 5th place.
Good ride for Tortelli. He needed that.
Another good ride for Waugh in 9th place as a privateer, and Way in 10th place takes a bigger lead on Heath Foss. Our EA Sports Rider of the Week and of the season. Number 4 on Team Honda, Ricky Carmichael.
I see you're checking out our new Quad Runner Ozark 250. Yeah, it's Suzuki's latest sport utility ATV. This baby's got it all. More suspension travel than the Yamaha Bear Tracker, more ground clearance than our Honda Recon, bigger engine than Kawasaki Bayou 250. Oh, I can't go wrong with the Ozark 250.
How about a test ride?
Okay.
Introducing the Quad Runner Ozark. The first sport utility 250 ATV from Suzuki. First on 4 wheels.
There's something wonderful about a hamburger. It's one of the few things that brings so much joy. Made fresh, hot off the grill, all juicy and delicious with fresh toppings so it tastes great. It lifts your spirits and makes everything okay. That's the kind of hamburger we make. Wendy's Classic Double with cheese. It's better here. And now Wendy's pickup window is open late so you can eat great even late.
People who don't use 1-800-COLLECT make me mad. I pity fools who don't know it saves $1 or $2. 1-800-COLLECT always leaves a good impression. Use 1-800-COLLECT. Save $1 or $2.
Sports Center Sunday Night Conversation, Mike Tyson. Among the items discussed, racism, his own mental state, and the physical damage he intends to do to Lennox Lewis in Memphis next month. Mike Tyson, Sunday night, after the Cubs and Dodgers.
Tonight's EA Sports Supercross has been brought to you by Suzuki, maker of innovative motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles. By Speed Stick, power of nature for protection that smells good. And by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, and scooters. Coming into the evening, we ask, could Ricky Carmichael wrap it up? Well, he did it in winning style. Villeman taking a 2nd place, his 12th podium in 14 races. Let's go to Terry.
Well, David, you had your chance tonight. I know you felt like it maybe slipped through your hands. One mistake and the gap opened up.
Yeah, I did a mistake, and it was early in the race, so it wasn't a big deal. And I thought we cut traffic, and you know, on the double over there, we couldn't jump, and I lost a little bit of time. Maybe Ricky jumped once, and he got away a little bit, and I caught up at the end, but you know, the race was too short and a lot of lappers. So I'm really happy. You know, I did a good race, and look forward to Vegas.
That's what it's going to be all about. We go back to Vegas for the final round in the outdoors, and we'll see you in 2003.
Checking out the Honda points sheet now as Carmichael sews up the title with still Las Vegas coming up with a live pay-per-view on May 4th. Let's go back to Terry with Tortelli.
Well, Sebastian Tortelli, your first podium this season, and how apropos it comes in a mud race.
Yeah, you know, it was medium practice, but, you know, by the end, you know, racing was good, you know. The guys did a great job on the track, and that was very slick. So, you know, that was good. And, you know, I got a great start, and, you know, after that, I just ride my best, and I was battling with Jeremy and Ernesto, and, you know, finally got them, so I was very happy.
The big news, number 4. Carmichael winning his 24th in the last 2 seasons. Our next telecast coming up on Saturday, May 11th, the Las Vegas final round of the 2002 season. Coming up next, the NHRA Import Drag Racing Program. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
In order to win one of these guys, first, you got to get by one of these guys, like Carlos Gonzalez, national ET record holder and defending modified champion, or Ari Yalan, undefeated street tire champion.
Or he is unmatched. His desire to win is unmatched. His physical training is unmatched, and he believes he's on equipment that he can win on. So from every facet that you can, however many ways you want to break it down, he's the strong guy in all of those, and he has everybody intimidated.
We've had lots of exciting action, including Pontiac.
Well, this is where I was just thinking, okay, it'd be okay if he got up and got in the top 10.
Then as he started catching the pack, I thought, okay, maybe if he got up and got in the top 5, because he lost his front brake, his visor was covering his vision. He looked like an idiot out there, really, and he still came through the pack, and he was mad at himself that he didn't win that race. That's when I realized that second place isn't going to cut it for Ricky.
So many different riders could possibly win the 125 shootout here tonight. I think it's a trend in recent years, in fact, I know it is, the last 3 years anyway, that a non-champion from his division won the shootout. That could happen again.
James Stewart's on deck to make that tradition